A lot of people say to start with the basics, but starting a bullet journal can be very exciting and also a little bit daunting, and maybe you're a bit unsure of how to proceed. So I wanted to give you some advice for getting started. Now, when I see beginners ask for advice about getting into bullet journaling, a lot of people say start with the basics, or just do the original method for a few months. And this is also the advice that Ryder Carroll gives in the bullet journal method, doing 2 to 3 months of the basic bullet journal method before adding your own custom collections. And honestly, I think that sounds boring as Don't get me wrong, I can totally understand where that advice comes from, because there's a lot of inspiration for how to get started with bullet journaling and what to include, and it can be very overwhelming if you're just getting into it. Whether it be 10 essential spreads you must have in your bullet journal, or 20 beginner bullet journal spreads, or 200 plus weekly layout ideas. There's a lot we could include in our bullet journals, and it can be overwhelming if you're just starting, so I understand why the advice would be just to stick with the basics. It helps our beginners narrow their focus so that there's less to pick from and thus less to get overwhelmed with. But if you're anything like me, being told to just do the basics feels restrictive, and then being told to only do that for a couple of months, yeah, ew, no thank you. Especially when you consider what likely drew you to considering starting a bullet journal in the first place. I don't think there's a lot of people out there who are like singing the praises of the core 5 bullet journal collections being the absolute utmost reason that they use the system. Most of the time people get into it because they saw something pretty online or they saw a custom collection that someone else was trying. And if you're telling people that they should only be sticking with the basics, then they can't do the thing that attracted them to the system to start with. I know that if I only let myself set up those core 5 collections when I started bullet journaling, I wouldn't have stuck with it. So if starting with the basics isn't my advice, then what is? Well, my advice has 2 parts. I want you to try all the things, and I want you to do so with lenses of self-compassion and curiosity. Let's unpack that. Trying all the things helps us combat that restricted feeling that we get when we're told that we should only start with the basics of the bullet journal method. I want you to be able to embrace what got you curious about bullet journaling to start with. And as said, often it's not the core 5 collections of the bullet journal system. Oftentimes the things that get people curious about bullet journaling are the ones that fall outside of the original system. If there's a certain layout that you've seen someone else do that looked like it could be helpful, or if you were attracted because of the decorative or aesthetic elements, I want you to lean into that. I want you to be able to set up the pretty stuff and play around with these collections that are outside of the core 5. For example, I know that it was the aesthetics that got me curious about bullet journaling, and if I had have not let myself do that, I would have quit. I want you to be able to try all those layouts and trackers and decorative styles and whatever else got you curious about bullet journaling. But just remember the second part of my advice, which was to do so with lenses of self-compassion and curiosity. Bullet journaling in a self-compassionate way means not beating ourselves up when things on the page don't turn out the way we had them in our heads, or not getting annoyed at ourselves because we didn't use a layout to the extent we thought we would. You are allowed to be a learner, and if bullet journaling is new to you, then it's going to take some time to figure out what works. Heck, I'm still figuring out what works, and I've been doing this since like the end of 2016. Figuring out what works for you takes time, but the easiest way to figure it out is to give things a go. Self-compassionate bullet journaling can also look like not trying to take on all of the layouts at once. This advice is different from just sticking to the basics because I don't want to restrict you in what you do or don't do in your bullet journal. I want you to dictate that for yourself. For me, I tried a bunch of layouts in my first journal that just didn't work out. Did I try too many layouts at once? Maybe, but I still value having tried them because it gave me more information about what does or doesn't work for me. I gained a lot more from having them in there compared to not putting them in at all. That brings us to the other lens, which is curiosity. Trying a whole bunch of things in our journals gives us the opportunity to gain insights about our preferences, what works for us, what doesn't. And if you take a lens of curiosity to your bullet journaling process, then those layouts that didn't work out aren't failures, they're learning opportunities. You give yourself permission to ask, why didn't this work out? Or what could I tweak or change to make this work better next time? Effectively, it's just paying attention to what is and isn't working in our journals and making changes accordingly. A side piece of advice is that if you want to call your bullet journal something shorter, you can call it a bujo, but please don't call it a BJ. The bullet journal method has a lot of terminology that surrounds it, and getting familiar with those terms can help you find the inspiration you're looking for, because you'll know what to search for. So my next piece of advice is that if you are a bullet journal beginner, then checking out our glossary is a good next port of call. Or if you're ready to get started and you want to know which supplies you'll need to get the job done, then the video at the bottom is for you. Click or tap on either of those and I'll see you over there.